Time to party. Hey, little Lou, how you doing? How's your day going? Oh, good. Good luck to you. Good luck. Yeah, I hope you'll get it. Tell them to put me as a reference. I'll tell them we share the largest porn collection in the world. Hey, my enemy, how you doing? Oh, thank you, appreciate it. It's been fun here so far. Heading up to Mackinac. Yes, I am going to see Mary again. Yeah, she got a special deal on a trip to Hawaii, kind of a last minute thing, and just got back Sunday and then had to go to work Monday, and I'm going to be up here a while, so I didn't want to push getting together when, you know, I know she's exhausted. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, you know, she wanted to see everything. She was there. That airplane's an ass kicker. She took a red-eye flight back from like the U.S. part. Basically, didn't sleep at all the night before she had to go to work. fun being up here. Yeah, it's supposed to be. It looks like it's good, although it's a little cloudy here and wasn't supposed to be, so you never know. But it looks like a beautiful day. The high is only 60 up there. You know, that's about 185 miles north of me, and it's only 57 now, so it's kind of nice, really. No, she hangs around with Marty more than me, to be honest with you. He's just sent me a video of giving her a bath last night. He takes her to Hilton Head. I mean, she sleeps with him probably 80% of the time. Yeah, let me know, little Lou. Good luck. So I'm fine with it. It's cool, Daisy. Like, I never thought that could happen in a million years. She snapped at a couple people last week, but it was being protective of him, believe it or not. I mean, if he wanted Daisy, I'd give her to him, tell you the truth. I mean, it's a great dog, but I didn't, you know, I ran into that dog accidentally and took it because I didn't want her giving up again. You know, I would never give her up just, you know, because I was tired of her. But under the right circumstances like these, he likes having her, to tell you the truth. It really puts a crimp in my traveling lifestyle. Yeah, I do. I want what's best for her. That's exactly right. That's exactly it. And he's got two other dogs over in Hilton Head. I never thought I'd see that either. They have fun and sleep together and chase each other, so good for her. You know, instead of one of those old stupid, silly TV-created stories on a dog and its owner, they never leave each other and everybody's crying at the end. Well, that's not the case here. She found a better opportunity and ran with it. Went to the casino last night. Got creamed as usual. I was expecting it though, so it wasn't too big a disappointment. But I hadn't been to a casino in, God, over a year, and stayed about an hour. It was fun. Well, you believe it or not, I'm dating myself. They only have one old days double triple diamond. And that whole bank of older machines had cards on them under maintenance. And I couldn't play it, so I ended up getting my ass handed to me on one of these new electronic versions. I mean, I've played it before, but it's a penny machine. But you know, I've had the best luck on there. So of course I went through $100 in about 20 minutes because you play the max. I'll tell you that the psychology behind casino attendance is interesting to me. I mean, I've read quite a bit about it. You know, there's a theory out there that people in a weird way get stimulated when they lose, similar to when they win. And it's kind of the poor me, why am I doing this? But it's better than sitting at home doing nothing. If you look at most businesses, if you get a bad meal at a restaurant and you never go back, you tell everybody. You get screwed on a car at a car dealership, you don't go there as well. Casinos, they'll bend you over and put it in your ass for 5 hours straight every time you go, and you'll go back and you won't tell anybody how you got your ass handed to you. And that's interesting to me. You know, you read these articles where these people go through their whole life savings after they retire, and what's super interesting to me is that it gets a lot of frugal people. I mean, they'll drive 50 miles to save a nickel on a gallon of gas or a quarter on a loaf of bread, and they will dump $100 in a quarter machine an hour like it's nothing, all for a free cap with the casino's name on it. And when you sit around and you look around, and I see these people, they're on breathing machines, wheelchairs, and both legs have been amputated. It's just compelling. You could slap them all on the back and say, hey, why don't you do something better with your life? They'd tell you to mind your own goddamn business. It's strange. But I managed to have my, hey, Interdale, how you doing? Headed to Mackinac, Michigan. In Sault Ste. Marie. Very top of the state, right across from Canada. Gonna party all day. I'm gonna get some whitefish, a whitefish dinner. Hey, Timothy. I'm going to be doing a lot back to the old days lives. I got my fast internet. House is getting built. I hope you come over and visit. We'll just party up until the sun comes up. Let's bring back the old days for you. I'll be your total enabler. Smoking and drinking all night. Smoking in the boys' room. Oh yeah, I believe that. 2 days, yep. You know, I had a buddy of mine when I moved to Chicago, and we hung around full-time for 5 years. And I had money from a business sale, and he modeled full-time. And that's all we did is hit the road and go to casinos. All the broads wanted to bang this guy wherever we would go to. And, you know, we got free shit all the time, comps, food. One time we spent a whole month in Tunica, which was absolutely fantastic. Their best days are behind them. And it was so much fun back then. It was like a casino clip in a movie. And everything was comped by these girls that wanted to bang this guy. It was unbelievable. He won that like the second edition of Fear Factor when it first came on TV. Got 50 grand. That lasted him about 6 months. But casinos are interesting. I'll tell you, the good old days in Tunica, I started going there about 99 through about 2003, 4. Just super fun, man. He did have it. Yeah, I'll tell you a funny thing though, my enemy. You can look him up. His name's Chad Harper. He looked like James Dean. He did have it made back during that time period. I mean, everywhere we would go, I would have women coming up to me and saying, is your friend Mary? You know, haven't I seen him on TV? And give him my phone. You know, all the time it happened. Yeah, it was all the time it happened. It was unbelievable. He was a spoiled kid. His parents spoiled him. Sister was the same way. Ended up marrying a retired topless dancer. Got her pregnant while she was doing cocaine one night. He wasn't a druggie at the time, but I think that changed later on. Gained a bunch of weight, got fat, got a hair transplant by the time he was 35. And now he's living out in Las Vegas with her, and I don't know what he's doing. You know, as the relationship went on, and he was going with a girl that was just a sweetheart, and really fucked her over in Chicago. He just didn't even, you know, spoiled people do that. They're only looking for themselves. So by that time, it was like, you know, I don't know about being friends with this guy. And it just got to the point where I'd been out there and I saw him in Las Vegas, and really, you know how you come to conclusions, and it was like, this guy is a fucking dick, man. I know this 2 times to people that I know. His parents had dogs to sleep because they were barking too much, missed them, and went out and bought 2 more. And that kind of like was the final cherry on the behavior that ran in this family. And I haven't talked to him in a long time. He's texted me a few times, emailed me, and I didn't respond. Yeah, I just fuck it. I'm like that with everything. He's just a spoiled brat, selfish guy. And you know, as you get older, me too, you realize. And what's even more fucked up, yeah, I know, I'll be through this buffering in a minute. And what's even fucked up than that is, you know, that was another relationship. It affected my relationship with him because of his parents. Yeah, I mean, people are crazy, man. That's why, even since a kid, hey, Blue, how you doing? I've been like just kind of doing my own thing. People disappoint you. Look at the trees budding up here. How you doing today, Blue? Good. You know, I don't know if cherry trees grow down there. I don't think they do. Crawfordville, Georgia. I think it's too hot and too sandy. I could grow cotton, pine, pecan, yeah, actually I haven't been getting only about 4 hours of sleep. You know, my schedule's all messed up. I almost left at 4:30 this morning, but there was no real reason to bust my ass like that. Oh, wow, good for you. First city. Yeah, my mom used to talk about those all the time. Oh, Barbados cherry tree, okay. I hope you could visit there, Neil. We'll bring back the old days. We'll tap the fun part of our brains. Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, I've been looking at things to get into, to tell you the truth. Actually, I've been thinking about growing grass seed. And believe it or not, and I can't believe this, I'm thinking of starting a new detective agency. Like a good one, you know, like I had before. I mean, really market it, do it right, and sell it like I did in the past. I just can't believe that I'm down there building a house, to be honest with you. It seems like I'm in a dream. Internet will get rid of that wife. We'll both just go and get mail order brides. We'll live life to the fullest. None of that spunky Puerto Rican stuff this time. Going to be totally subservience on a daily basis. We're going to be the kings of the household. Oh, thank you. I actually still have my PI license here. It doesn't expire until September. Gotta have the pedal of the metal. Trucks purring like a kitten. Only thing I wish was better, I mean, you know, I wish I was better looking too, you know how that goes, is I wish this got a little better gas mileage. Yeah, I'm gonna get a Mexican, I think we're gonna have to go Asian. I don't want any of that Russian stuff threatening me, killing me for my Social Security. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Rob. That's nice of you. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, South Bronx, no way. I wouldn't put up with that shit for 10 minutes. I want my new wife to think that I walk on water. I want to be able to come in after a long day of fucking off and saying, what's for dinner, goddammit? Oh, I know, Blue. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, sorry about that, Rob. Thank you. You must be drinking. I've been drinking 2 Dragon's Milks. I have 2 Dragon's Milks before I go to bed. You guys know how it is. You can try and get as close to home plate as you can. From a guy's standpoint, I mean, nothing ever is a complete package. They're super smart, they have a good job, and they got A-cup bras. They got a big rack of tits, like world class, and then they can't manage money. They don't know how to cook. It's always some major piece of that pie is missing. It's just the way it is. It's the same on the guy side too for women. So as you stumble through life and you don't know shit, you're coming up through the ranks and you find one, it's like, fuck it. Let's get married, you know, what the hell? I mean, it's great in bed, puts up with my ass. It's not like I got good looking women banging me over the head every morning. So you do it. Then 20 years go by and you get tired of it. They gain weight, you're arguing all the time. Your secretary's telling you what a big bulge you got in your pants. How she wishes you were Signal. Before you know it, you're banging her too. This is a no-brainer, man. And then if you go to church, you can do God's plan, and you can just be true to your wife and not have sex for 40 years, 4 decades in a row. And in your twisted way of looking at things, you think that you're being faithful. Well, I don't call not having sex for 4 decades faithful. I think it's time to hit the road. Oh, good for you. Oh, good, Blue. That'll be fun. We will party all night long. We're going to have all-night parties. That'll be fun. Wireless mouse and keyboard, you're going big time. That'll be fun. I gotta get new computers. I'll probably get them next fall. You know, if you're messing around with video, man, you really need a good graphics card, high RAM. Computers are expensive now if you're doing video. I have this old dinosaur I carted with me here, but I only brought it to take my video that I'm getting and put it on off my cameras and put it on a mini external hard drive. I don't have internet hooked up. Yeah, you're lucky. Breaker 19 northbound. Trees blooming. I've visited a lot of people I knew up here already. I'm going to do it the rest of this week. I'm going to party with them. When I get my new mail order bride, you can come to the wedding. I'll make sure to have a good wireless signal for you. There's the old days F-350. Working on it. Mexican construction workers. Wasn't for Mexican construction workers, now nothing to get done. This fucking YouTube is messing with my shit. Like now I don't see any new chat comments. That never used to happen. It would buffer, either worked or it didn't. And now it looks like it's working, but people can talk, but I can't see their comments. That's not going to stop my party. I got all my batteries charged up. I'm Breaker 19 northbound, going to Sault Ste. Marie too. Breaker 19 northbound. Yeah, that's the last message I got, Blues. It's going to be a bright sunny day today. Yeah, the learning curve on new equipment sucks, but you'll be flying through that in no time. The damn cop sitting up here. All the dope running up and down these highways, crime. Here these fuckers are out sitting in the middle of a median waiting for speeders. I mean, it just seems like such a waste of time. Freeway closed at Cross Village. So what? I'm not going there. Yeah, I think this chat is stuck. I can't tell if it's Verizon or YouTube monkey wrenching my channel. Still partying on though. Place up here, it's just north of me. I damn near crashed an airplane there in 1990, 89. It was my fault, but I got a little bit of an explanation for it. I had an old Piper Tri-Pacer, and those only had 135 horse. And I flew that thing all over the hell's head figures. Actually, if you look on YouTube, you'll see that airplane. It's November 1261 Charlie. There's a kid from Denver that bought it. He lives in Denver now, but at the time he was living out in the Dakotas, Montana. Anyway, I had that thing, and my wife had a girlfriend who was staying in a cabin up there, and she said, "Do you think we could pick her up on our way back home and take her back to Ann Arbor?" It's like, yeah, it's no problem. So on those older planes, you didn't have good performance charts. I mean, back then, if you crashed, and they didn't really make a big deal on everything. You had some very rudimentary performance charts. And as aviation progressed, mass-produced airplanes came about, before you know it, they had to demonstrate these things to the government. Part of the safety recommendations, numbers, were part of that paperwork that came with the airplane. So, but I didn't have any of that. It was kind of like, well, you kind of like guessed. So anyway, it was a really hot, humid day, which is a killer on density, altitude, the performance of an airfoil. But I wasn't that concerned about it, because I also had a 5,000-foot runway and a super stiff wind coming out of the north. And I figured, well, I just, eat up more runway than probably I normally would, and then turn into the wind left, and then circle around and head back south. Well, and I'm not making an excuse, but the girlfriend fudged her weight, and she was sitting in the back. And it was hot. So anyway, and she had a puppy, and we all had headsets on. And she was holding that puppy close to her, and it kept crying. It was like you could hear it in the headset. That's an uncontrolled airplane just announce your positions. So it wasn't that big a deal. It wasn't like anybody else was hearing this puppy scream through the intercom. People in the plane. So anyway, I do the run up, hit the throttle, head up. It's really not performing too hot, but I still wasn't worried about it because of the 5,000 foot runway. I'd done that in similar circumstances before, a bunch of times. So anyway, I ended up getting off the ground, and this thing is barely flying. And I never really increased airspeed much, hardly at all. I mean, it was so bad that I couldn't even like barely turn to the north to get into that headwind. I was afraid I'd stall out. So I ended up flying. I crossed the expressway up here, you'll see it, and I almost hit a tractor trailer. It was that low at the end of a 5,000 foot runway. And I'm shitting bricks, you know, I didn't panic, but I was scared to death. And it finally just flew about another 25 miles straight east. And I slowly, at full throttle by the way, the engine's starting to get hot. And finally, slowly creeped into turning left. Took advantage of that headwind and got up to around 2,200 feet, which was nothing. You know, shit got near killed all of us. The girl in the back didn't really realize what was happening. She said that she couldn't believe how good you could see and how we were so close to the ground. It's like, yeah, I know. My wife knew what was going on. She said, man, that was a close call. It's like, yeah, you're not going to. It's the only time I almost crashed an airplane. Now, it was a combination of things. Her lying about her weight, me being unfamiliar, me counting on turning into that headwind on a super long runway. It's just everything added up to have that airplane stall on takeoff and kill us all, and it didn't happen by a hair. And 2 months later, I went out and bought a Cherokee 6, 300 horsepower, fuel injected, 6 people, club seating. Yeah, that was a close call, man. I mean, right now, that would have been around 89, 90. Here it is. Look at all these years going by. I'm not kidding you. I was close to almost bought the farm. Now here I am all these years later, not with that woman anymore. Who knows what happened to the girlfriend? The puppy's long dead. And I'm going by there alive when we all could have been dead easily. It's just weird how shit works out. Yeah, it really is. But all of life's like that. Doors opening and closing. Still the same comment stuck. So I think of that sometimes, like when I get depressed. Lucky you're around, man. But that's not rational thought in the midst of a deep depression. That stuff, you could care less about that stuff when you're depressed. It's the here and now you're concerned with. It isn't going so well. And I've probably, over the years, I've probably stopped by that airport 20 times and just pulled over and looked around. It's like, my God, man. If you went up and told somebody sitting in a picnic bench what almost happened to you all that long time ago, they'd probably think you're exaggerating or you were full of shit. And the things that I made a mistake on was, first of all, I didn't really have the data I needed to crunch weight and balance. Just didn't have it with that airplane. First thing. Second thing, I should have not took her at her word for how much she weighed. But you know how all that bullshit is. You don't want to say, it's like, hey, could you get on this scale before we give you this ride home to Ann Arbor? You know, this is the kind of shit that gets you killed. Secondly, I underestimated how poorly that airplane performed on a hard surface runway. And I assumed that once I got airborne, that I could easily turn into the wind. Well, that didn't happen either. So, you know, it taught me a lot. It taught me how goddamn lucky I've been in a couple situations. I mean, I could have got my wife pregnant before we were married and had 5 quintuplets that were all retarded. I mean, this is life, man. But I didn't. Not only do we not have kids, I'm not going to be with her anymore legally here in the next few months. Wish her the best. Hope she gets a big dick tonight. I'm done with her. So these are the kinds of things I think of when I'm driving. And I joke about this mail order bride shit. I think there's something wrong with these guys. I'm sure the rest of my relationships are going to be with a jug of hand cream and a couple of porno movies. A 4-pack of Dragon's Milk. It's not sad. It's reality. I don't joke about the elephant in the room anymore because it could likely be my girlfriend in the next couple of years. I'll say elephant in the room, their head will swivel around like Linda Blair. It's like, you talking to me? It's like, no, it's a figure of speech. It's like, you know, I've been trying to lose weight since I met you. It's like, yeah, I do. Don't lose it on my account, babe. Your jeans must cost $200 a pair. How they stitch that fabric to fit across that ass is a mystery. It must take like the cloth of 3 slender women's jeans to make those. It looks like a parachute. He said, well, who the hell are you talking, man? You're not exactly a spring chicken either. Yeah, I know that. Watch the Viagra commercials. 2 75-year-olds holding hands walking down the beach. Bullshit. Smiling like they can't wait to get home and screw for a couple hours. I call bullshit. That's a fraudulent commercial. Now you show me in Tijuana with a couple of hot-looking Mexican hookers. Time to break out the Viagra. Tequila, limes, Mexican lyrics you don't understand. Donkeys making noises. That's my idea of a good time. There's a lady that wants to buy my condo. Her husband died. Long story. Sweetheart of a lady. Just a real gem. A great personality. Actually, if I have to sell it to her for less, I will. Because she's so nice. She just needs a break. She's a patient of my buddy that's a doctor up here. I just like to see her get a good break. No, it's fucking real estate's, crazy up here too. But anyway, if I didn't know better and I was just talking to her, I'd be all over it wanting to meet this lady. Just got a great personality. Really witty and gives a fuck. And then I found out she's 82. You'd never know that by talking to her. Now you should say, well, what's the problem? Now, don't bullshit me like this. You know what the problem is. She's 82. It's not that big a problem though, because I'll just be a nice guy and go back to Pornhub. They say, Tom, you seem like a nice guy. Why don't you have a girlfriend? Then I just think of empty jugs of hand cream and empty bottles of Dragon's Milk, Pornhub, and falling asleep in the middle of Debbie Does Dallas for the 10,000th time. And I think, man, if you only knew. I had 2 of these women since I got here invite me to church. Oh, God bless them. Yeah. If there's anything to the roof collapsing, boy, just take me. It's like, you want me to go to church? It's like, did you see my porn collection or something? That's one big beef I got with them. Like this stuff, this is Satan. This is dirty, and I'm going to go to hell. And, I'll admit, there's there's an argument for it isn't the most mentally healthy activity in the world, but I'm going to run with it anyway. I don't think it's a bad decision. In this world, you never get credit for the things that you didn't do. I knew I never wanted kids. I just didn't want to be in it for the long haul, and I didn't have any. Nobody will ever come up and say, you are one crazy motherfucker, and I want to thank you for not bringing any children into society. It's like, well, thank you too. That's very kind of you. And be honest as hell. It's true, but that'll never happen. I'll say, God, why didn't you have kids? Like, fuck, why didn't I have kids? How about giving me a slap on the back for not having them, you clown? What are you, watching Wonderful Life? I just can't stand these mundane, bullshit, boring comments. These people got their head up their asses. She said, I'd like to go to church with her Sunday. For what? I said, I appreciate the offer, thank you. And I think I'm going to watch Deep Throat for the 11,000th time. Oh, that, like I'm going to hell because I'm watching something. You put porno movie, Dragon's Milk, next to going to church, it's a no-brainer. And I don't think it's because Satan has got in my mind. It's because I'm on a party. That's why. I want to feel good. Just like old Nathan Miller did in Covington, Georgia. Him and his wife went hand in. As it turns out, they're not married. Oh, they lied. They didn't want the church to know that, though. And as it turns out, she's got a criminal record from cracking a cop in the jaw. No big deal. People make mistakes. Doesn't mean they're bad people. But it wasn't quite the story they portrayed to the media. Look it up. Nathan Millard. Milliard. Old Nathan had a job with a construction company. Went down to Baton Rouge to look at some project. And him and a client went out to dinner. Went to a basketball game. And when they departed, Nathan wanted to party some more. He'd had enough of these church gatherings crammed down his throat in the Bible Belt, Georgia. And told his wife he loved her. And ran into a guy, said he wanted to feel good, wanted some drugs. And he wanted some hookers. He wanted 2 of them, by the way. Oh, Nathan, man after my own heart. And he made a special request. Now, I want to defend Nathan in his death because they're saying that Nathan was a racist. And I don't think he was. Nathan was paying for 2 hookers. And he requested they were white girls, not black. That doesn't make you a racist. I mean, this is fucking crazy world now. This is kind of how you get pigeonholed. Poor old Nathan is paying for sex. And he's getting knocked for not wanting them black. It's not their business. I don't like green beans. So Nathan did. He got a couple white hookers. And unfortunately, God had a different plan for Nathan than he had. He partied, and it was fentanyl, the cheap knockoff Chinese shit. And after old Nathan, on his sabbatical from Christianity, had gotten a double blowjob, had a smile on his face, he was worried about ever being taken off. Old Nathan overdosed. Couldn't get a hold of him. Well, it's hard to answer the phone when you're dead. So they launched an investigation. Baton Rouge, I mean, people are coming up there missing all the time. That place sucks. Detroit too. So they looked, couldn't find him. The bad news is the next day they found Nathan's cell phone without Nathan. Not a good sign. And somebody tried to use his ATM card. That's not a good sign either. And sure enough, about another 9 days, they found Nathan wrapped up in an oriental carpet and then shrink wrapped. Well, as it turns out, one of the guys involved in the drug hookup, the hookers, he wanted to try to connect and get the reward. So he just, he did a poor job of acting because they finally figured out this guy wasn't just driving by. There's there's more to the story. Of course, he's charged because Nathan allegedly overdosed by his own volition. Well, you know, I guess I shouldn't say by his own volition. Nobody forced Nathan to take the drugs. It just happened to be a lethal dose of fentanyl. Now, in this day and age, when you have weak circumstantial evidence and you got a lot of media attention, you know, everybody bought into this thing at the beginning. Christian guy, where is he? Last seen leaving a pub at 3 in the morning. You got a lot of people watching. So the last thing you want to do is act like you don't give a fuck as a detective. Your Baton Rouge is about ready to get another black eye because of this criminal activity that goes on all the time. So they end up charging the guy that got him the fentanyl with, you know, improper disposing of a corpse, some shit like that. Because you can't say he murdered him. I mean, don't you have to have knowledge that you have an excessive amount of fentanyl when you hook up a deal between a guy that's out of town and the people that's out? I mean, I think this is like, of course, these guys go away forever because they get shitty attorneys, and this is the way it is. They're going to hold somebody responsible for this bullshit. And I was really surprised at how much they pursued. Here's the airport right here to the left. Gaylord Airport. How much they pursued finding these hookers, and they charged them too. That old Nathan nodded out after this double blowjob, and they didn't do anything about it. They didn't call 911. They didn't shake him and say, "Nathan, how you feeling?" Nothing. Just like typical drug-addicted hookers, they got the fuck out of Dodge, hoping it'd never come back to haunt them. And irregardless of the facts and the details and whatever, I feel bad for Nathan. Had 3 kids, one new one with his girlfriend. Everybody thought they were married. I guarantee the church didn't know that. And I kind of feel sorry for her. I mean, not at a heavy level. I just feel like, you know how this bullshit is. Like, say you got a marriage. I don't want to use the word happily, but you're putting up with each other. You know, you're banging once a month instead of twice by noon every day, and it's okay. You're not hitting any grand slams, and your marriage is okay, and as far as everybody knows, it's okay. But just to be a guy in a relationship with, let's say, like a woman, and I find out that, you know, my wife goes to a business conference. I'm telling her I better not catch you fucking around, and she said, you know, I never do that. And then through the course of an investigation, I found out she was at a gangbang and getting big black cock for about 4 hours under the influence of cocaine and tequila. And it all got out in the news. Mrs. Reed was at a gangbang. And I'm thinking, motherfucker, man. So it gets on the news, and they're trying to say gangbang in a nice way, which is impossible. And they can't really say big black cock. But if you got half a fucking brain, you know that Mrs. Reed was out there, in her mind, having one hell of a good time. And then, obviously, I didn't know anything about it. So all of a sudden it gets out there, people draw their conclusions. Say, hey, did you know Tom Reed? You know, that wife of his? Yeah, she was at a gangbang. She was high on cocaine, drinking tequila, and everybody comes up to me, and they really don't know what to say. Guys that don't like me, they want to come up to me and say, hey, Tom, you miss that fucking whore you were married to? I'd say, as a matter of fact, I don't. This kind of shit. People come up and say, Tom, I'm so sorry what happened to your wife. It's like, well, yeah, well, she got killed in a car wreck. You didn't know any of this shit. I would believe it, but you know damn well, you know that she was in a gangbang, high on cocaine, drinking tequila. And it's fucking embarrassing to me, because I thought I had enough of a sham going. People knew my relationship wasn't great, but they didn't think this kind of shit. And it really, deep down, I'll tell my Jewish psychiatrist that what bothers me the most is amongst my male peers, that they have a lack of respect for me because they don't think I was giving her good dicking up to par, which is why she's strayed. Of all the things, she's no longer with us, that doesn't bother me. Her parents miss her, that doesn't bother me. But what bothers me is that my reputation is going down the shitter, because if I was sexually satisfying this fucking whore, why was she at a gangbang? And it makes me look like I'm not shit in the sack. And the psychiatrist, the Jewish psychiatrist, would swallow hard, and he'd say, Tom, these are normal thoughts. It's like, these are normal thoughts. What the fuck are you talking about? He said, you suffered a loss. I said, I know I suffered loss, but the law, that's not what I'm talking about, jack off. I'm talking about the appearance of me being inadequate sexually. You know, like, that's why she fooled around, because I wasn't any good in bed. He said, that's a normal response. It's like, no, it's not a normal response, because most people don't know this shit. And mine has been spread all over the media. It's going to affect my dating in the future. And the psychiatrist swallows hard again. He said, well, what would you like me to do? I said, well, I'd like you to write me a fucking prescription so I can get over this horse shit. These feelings of inadequacy. This has been an unfortunate murder that's turned into a colossal, giant problem. Me feeling inadequate. And it bothers me that the whole world knows what a fucking whore I was married to. I knew she was a whore, but I would have liked to kept it secret, and now the cat's out of the bag. This is my therapy record. My full disclosure. It's just life, just like almost crashing the plane back there 10 miles behind me. This is how this shit manifests itself. All these things, a tsunami, a volcano, a fucking tornado, a relationship, all this shit starts out small. And you're just oblivious to it picking up steam. And by the time you realize it, like all these things, you know, tornadoes wiped out a whole fucking town, volcano has leveled everything with molten lava. Your wife's been in a gangbang, drinking tequila, snorting cocaine. The whole world knows. And you just sit there dumbfounded that you would have been so clueless. Now, what's the antidote to this? How do you fix this? How do you move forward? Fuck moving fucking forward. I'll tell you how you do it. Same with these Jewish psychiatrists. You buy a fucking accurate crystal ball. I've told more goddamn shrinks over the years, motherfucker, at the time, I did what seemed like the prudent thing to do. I did. I put the fucking, do you think that I sat down and wrote up a list? It's like, I'm going to see how big I can fuck up my life. I'm going to marry some bimbo, I'm going to go broke, I'm going to get fucking STDs, I'm going to have herpes on my lips. I'm going to do all these things because I want to ruin my life. I didn't do that, you cocksucker. I'm trying to be polite to this guy. I just inched along, things seemed good. It's like a fucking minefield. You got beautiful wildflowers, you hear birds chirping in the background. Before you know it, your fucking legs are gone. You stepped on a fucking mine underneath a fucking wildflower you were looking at. So, I mean, that's why I joke about it all the time, but really, deep down, I'm serious. I'm all for shit luck. Shit luck. Musical chairs of real world living. When that fucking music stops, I want a chair to be under my ass. And that's just how life is. That day in that airplane, fucking music stopped, I sat down on a chair. There's people all day long. There's some guy that's going to win the Mega Million, the Powerball, and another motherfucker is going to be a quadriplegic because he got hit on his motorcycle. He was drying it off after washing it. There were a couple people in West Branch in the last couple of years hit deer on their motorcycle. Not only it hit deer, it killed them. Now I could offer you $10 million to go out and hit a deer. I'll give you $10 million to go out and get a picture of a deer on your motorcycle from 2 feet away. You can't fucking do it. But yet, these guys are on a road like this at night, dark. Everything going great. Just went to Bible study. Hadn't fucked around on your wife in 5 years. Got your alcoholism under control. And a fucking deer out in the middle of nowhere. You should be sleeping. Decides to walk right in front of your fucking Harley Davidson. And you're dead. Explain this to me. Now the Christians, well, God called into the kingdom. Yeah, all right. How the hell does this happen? It's fucking more questions than answers. So, like today, I got shit to do up here. You know, I've got quite a bit done since I've been here. I've watched over 39 porno movies from beginning to end. I drank my 4th Dragon's Milk. And after that kind of hard work day, it's time to relax. Here I am. Honestly, when I do shit like this, not in a religious way, but I think to myself, I think I'm just going to go up to fucking Sault Ste. Marie, have a whitefish dinner, film these fucking freighters, film my fucking excuse me, put my GoPro on when I go over the bridge, because I could be dead any day. And that's what spurs me to do this shit. And I got this weird, like, mechanism in my train of thought, in a fucked up, crazy way. I like recording fucking things and upload. I'm obsessed with it, but I'm fine with it. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, say I didn't really feel like going today, but I think to myself, well, there's people that they're not going to be able to see that. And if you record it and you upload it, they can see what it's like going over the Mackinac Bridge today, because they're not lucky like you are. They're in some fucked up relationship, job they hate. They think they're going to go to the Mackinac Bridge 30 years from now when they retire from the job they can't stand. And that's part of the reason I do shit. I mean, it's fucked up, probably true. Probably not true that, you know, people are appreciating something that I'm able to do that they couldn't do, but that's part of this weird vegetable soup of thinking on why I do this video. I just like to share the opportunities I had, even though it's not like I'm going to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa or anything. It's fucking nuts. Crazy. Yeah. And you could say, that's fucking bullshit. You're a fucking kook. You're addicted to porno. There's no woman in their right mind that have anything to do with you. And you're just a lonely old man with nothing to do. Alright. Well, I don't really see it that way. That's one thing I don't have. I got a lot of issues. But lonely isn't one of them. So in that regard, that would not be accurate. Yeah. Fucking weird, man. So, but back to the point of the story. I'm lucky to be able to just fuck off like this. As I'm going up here, you know, fucking off, a new house is being built. I don't even need to do shit. Other motherfuckers are doing it. Well, I'm just up here eating fish sandwiches, starting the GoPro. I got it fucking made, I think. I do. I think I do. And there are not that many years of this left. Fucking 67 and a half. I don't know how long. Maybe. Will I be able to do this at 77? It's iffy. 87, probably not. You look back, man, 20 years is like flown by. I haven't seen my wife since 2007. Thank God. It's fucking crazy. This is just life, serendipity. Just fucking take it as it comes. I just haven't had any, like, bad shit happen. You know? I can't explain it to you. I'm always open to discussion. I take advice, listen to it, act accordingly. Fuck yeah. I love these open roads. Now I will say I miss this a little bit. The difference right now compared to if I was in Georgia is about 30 fucking degrees. Other than that, it's just green trees. But this cool is nice. I even put a long underwear shirt on today because the high's only 60. And I figured I'd be freezing my fucking balls off trying to get some video of the Mackinac Bridge. I don't know why this fucking chat keeps locking up. When I get up to the bridge, I'm going to start it over. I'd like to comment. So, that's it, man. That's my take on the whole thing. It's fun being back in West Branch, to tell you the truth. Really enjoyed it. So far. Ugh. Tired, man. I almost left at 4:30 this morning. I could have been up there as the sun was coming up, and I thought, fuck it, I'd be too tired. Shipwreckers, glass bottom shipwrecks. Fuck yeah. I don't think that this shell place with the giant man-eating clam is open. I think they open on Memorial Day. I could be wrong. Fuck, I'd be open now. It's a short season up here. Sometimes I think of buying something up here, like a little business, but I just don't want to be fucking around, like waiting on people fucking 16 hours a day for the whole nice summer. But I'd like to have an excuse to like go back and forth. You know? I almost bought a bed and breakfast in Mackinac Island. I'm glad I did. That's not me, man. If you got cool guests, like a lot of the people that are on YouTube, it'd be great, man. Just come up. But that's not how it works. They're bitching, complaining. You got to be there. Fuck that. I mean, they could check into my bed and breakfast, and I'd be gone for 3 days with the toilet plugged. It's like, where have you been? It's like I've been out fucking around, man, with my YouTube. It's like the toilet's been plugged up for 3 days. It's like, all right, well, you know, is this the end of the world? Here, I'll give you a refund. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to babysit shit. Which is the same reason I don't have any, like, livestock. If I'm up here fucking around, and all of a sudden you find out a fucking tornado went through Crawfordville, Georgia. You look on the news, and, like, you see shit that's, like, just a pile of rubble. It's like, where are these fucking animals, man? You try and get a hold of somebody. Could you go over and see if my fucking chickens are all dead? But you can't because the fucking phones don't work. Fuck it, I don't want any of it. The worst thing, I'll come back to just a bunch of shit spread all over the fields. But it was nothing living. I don't want to be a slave to this shit. I want to just fuck off. No responsibilities. I want to fuck off in peace. That's what I'm going to put on the back of my boat. I've had boats before. Too much work. They rip your ass off. You have a short season up here. God forbid if something major goes wrong with that motherfucker. Like if you throw a rod or something. Fuck. First of all, they won't be able to get you in till the fucking summer's over. And then they'll bend your ass over for 10 grand, no problem. Then you do the numbers, you crunch the numbers, like, oh, fucking 10 grand. You know, I used this fucker 13 hours this summer. fucking ridiculous, man. I'd be better off leasing the Queen Mary. I'm all for that kind of shit now. I don't want to own shit. I want to go in. If the fucking toilet plugs up, it's your fucking problem. You can move me to another room. Fuck yeah. Hey, another one of the girls I interviewed died. Renee. I don't have any details. I don't even like saying rest in peace. That's so fucking stupid. Why are you gonna rest in fucking peace? You're dead. That's not resting, clowns. It's like taking propofol. That's not sleeping. That's your eyes shut. Being dead isn't resting. What do you? We gotta come up with a new thing to say to people that know people that died. This is rest in peace. Oh yeah, fucking rest in peace. So stupid. First of all, if it was possible, of course you're fucking in peace. There's nobody down there. You're 6 fucking feet under the ground. Who's down there to fuck with you? Worms? Moles? Ground shrews? They're not going to get through that vault in the casket. It's fucking nuts. It's like, oh, rest in peace. But there's nothing really else to say. It's like, I'm sorry for your loss. It's like, loss? I couldn't wait to get rid of that motherfucker. I wish he'd have died 20 years ago. I had this fucking, like, dry cough. I was blaming it on fucking allergies in fucking Georgia, but that's out now because I'm not in Georgia and I still got it. Hope I don't have fucking lung cancer or something. If I do, man, there ain't gonna be a horror house in this world that isn't gonna be busy when I show up. Before I get this lung taken out, get on this chemotherapy, I'm gonna go balls out. Hopefully I'll fucking die overdosing on Viagra. Couple young hookers. Really, I'd rather go out that way. You say, oh, that's ridiculous. Nobody wants to die that way. Fuck, they don't. I do. Right here, motherfucker. You're looking at it. Hell yeah. You give me 6 months to live. You better fucking keep that titty bar open 24 hours. It's like, hey, if you really lowered the bar that low, you're 67 years old, you're just sitting around stuffing $10 bills in girls' G-strings. Yeah, I fucking am. Yep, that's me. I will own this. That's where I want to be. What am I supposed to do? Just be in an assisted living care facility? Getting fucking sponge baths, drooling my applesauce down my chest. Would that make you happy? Having kids in the 3rd and 4th grade write me get well letters that don't even know me because their teachers have brainwashed them into this fucking scam. I'm gonna fucking go out, man. If it worked out perfect, none of this resurrection shit, coming back as a bald eagle. If it worked out, when that fucking hand struck midnight, I'd have spent my last penny on some head. Seriously. That's how I want to go out. And hopefully if, to add a positive note to it, you'd give me a 30-06, and I'd see some of these motherfuckers I've crossed paths with in my life, and I could just bless them with a good shot through my hospice window. I'd take them out with me. I got this shit figured out. I'd like to tell hospice volunteer Mary that walks around with her little mini Bible and her big set of 36 double D's hidden with a sweater. I'd say, Mary. She said, yes, Tom. Is there anything I can help you with? Anything I can do to make your last moments happy? It's like, yeah, there is. You can show me your tits. It's like, like, I don't think I can do that. I said, I think you can. I've got 15 grand left in my account. And I'm willing to give you $15,000 to see your tits before I die. It's like, are you serious? It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm serious. I'll even get Rob in the Quad Cities to get it out delivered. And I will count you $15,000 out in $100 bills for you to show me your tits. Just schedule it with changing my bedpan. Come into my room, lock that fucking door, like, busy or whatever they put on the thing, temporarily out of service, or fucking in the midst of fucking an enema, whatever kind of bullshit. You've got to hang on that door and then take your top off. She said, are you going to tell anybody? It's like, oh, I'm going to tell anybody. Fucking dead in the next 2 days. No. But I am going to, this is what you're going to help me with. You're going to allow me to go out on my terms. And so what? I've looked at your tits. Well, big deal. And it's important to me. She said, really? I said, yeah. So I give her $15,000, the only money I have left. And we carry it out. And the next day it's like, oh, Tom Reed, that motherfucker died. I hope he didn't suffer. Yeah, don't worry about that, man. I didn't suffer at all. I had the biggest smile on my face you could have when it was tits up. Everybody's going to say, hopefully there's no leaks, no security cameras. She doesn't lose her job. So I wouldn't be able to come back and defend her. You get a Jew lawyer, he'd have to make up a bunch of fucking bullshit that I coerced her, that I was a control freak. They get my ex-wife, a couple ex-fucking girlfriends. Yeah, this motherfucker manipulating shit. Here he gets this poor Bible-toting girl, and, comes up with a dollar amount to show her breasts. Fucking weirdo. The world would be a better place without him. This is all, I watch this on these crime shows. You can work it either way. Fucking circumstantial evidence. There's more motherfuckers right now bars over this bullshit, trumped up fucking circumstantial evidence. Not a bunch of bullshit. In the old days, you actually had to prove this stuff beyond a reasonable doubt. Yeah, you don't now. All you got to do is be a guy that your dead wife's friends didn't like. You're fucked. They will make up so much goddamn bullshit and weave it into partial truths before you know it. You got a whole fucking jury hating your goddamn ass over you chewing her ass one time for cutting the lawn wrong. Had nothing to do with murdering anybody. They're all sitting there waiting. Yeah, I can't wait to convict this motherfucker of first-degree murder. He's an asshole. The way he talked to his wife out there when she cut the grass improperly, he's going away. No evidence. It happens. It happens. How many fucking miles I drive so far? I'll tell you in a minute. 99.8. 16.3 miles a gallon. That's what happens when you do 80. It's not that great. But I'm getting there faster. Yeah, drive fucking 55 if you want the best gas mileage. Fucking half the day is gone by the time you get there. It's another choice. It's like anything. I'm going to start this chat around. I'll start it over when I get my GoPro set up. Oh, there's somebody broke down. You got a flat tire? Sorry about that. Poor people. How can I think of these things as I drive? You want to know why I drive now? Now you have it. It's my conscious stream of thought. Fuck yeah, man. Purr like a kitten. I hardly ever do 80 in this fucking thing. Only use 6.1 gallons. So that's about right. Fuck, that's I got gas for $3 a gallon in West Ranch. $18 to go all this fucking way. So what? I mean, big deal, man. What are you gonna do? Ride a fucking bike? I mean, yeah, I wish gas was $1 a gallon, but you know, you gotta get somewhere. I mean, it's like everything. You gotta pay to heat your house, cool it, all that shit. Gonna get a nice big fish sandwich. You know, it's crazy. Here I am in the UP. I'm gonna be in the UP, not yet. And you'd think whitefish would just be everywhere. Fuck, it's not. And I can't even tell you a good place to get whitefish anymore. You'd get better tasting whitefish in Toledo, Ohio. Same thing with crab legs in Alaska. You can fucking forget it. You get better fucking crab legs in goddamn Des Moines, Iowa than you will in Kodiak, Alaska. All that shit is basically export only. Export only. Too much money in them. They're not going to give them these local fuckers. Try and get fresh salmon in Alaska. Fucking dreaming. You go to like a high-end butcher shop, food purveyor, like in a good neighborhood, upper middle class, fresh salmon, fresh monkfish, never frozen. Yeah, you can fucking forget that in Alaska. I mean, there's probably some place in Anchorage or something. But if you're out in these other towns, no way. You better have caught that fucker yourself. They got that subsistence up there. You gotta be hooked up. You gotta have a pole, a net, a boat, all this fucking bullshit. Which is why if you're a traveling guy like me, you're not getting fucking crab legs or fresh salmon. I'm not fucking around with all that bullshit. You think you could go into any restaurant and get fresh salmon? You can't. It's another one of these weird fucking... Maybe that's what I'll do. Go on and do like a tour of like, hey fuckers, this isn't like getting a taco in San Antonio. I'm here in Omaha, Nebraska, where I cannot get a fresh steak. That's not true. You can. All over the fucking place. You know, some of this shit's valid. Tacos and you know, places with a lot of Spanish. This fresh seafood in Alaska, you're fucking dreaming. Fucking frozen everywhere. You go to a restaurant in fucking Kodiak, Alaska, it's like, oh, salmon's that fresh? No. Almost all that shit goes to Seattle, gets processed, and comes back frozen. No, I'm not kidding you. It's fucking crazy, man. And if frozen's done right, it's damn near as good. If you blindfolded people, they'd have a hard time telling. But the problem is it's expensive to freeze and keep things frozen properly. You got to be like -0 Fahrenheit. You got to stop that decay with super cold. And that costs a lot of electricity. That's why your stuff goes to shit in your freezer at home when you're the one connected to your refrigerator. It's not in a deep freeze. It's like 28, 29, and it's nothing. You're lucky that motherfucker's not flopping around in there. You learn these things, you get older. I can remember coming up as a kid and wondering, how would somebody know a good steak from a bad steak? You know, you're a kid, you don't know shit. You just know it tastes better than a hamburger and it costs a lot more. Well, as you get older, you know, you figure this shit out. You go to the Save-A-Lot, some of these places. Fucking, they don't even rank something. It's not even select. It's like the crappiest steak. You got a fucking crock pot, everything. You're gonna break your teeth. It's like, oh, I'll have idiots. You can tell. They'll say it's like, oh yeah. It's like, well, where do you get your meat? Oh, I go to Save-A-Lot. I think right away it just spoke volumes. You're a fucking idiot. And then I'll let them bury themselves some more. It's like, well, why do you go to Save-A-Lot? It's like their meat's so good. It's like, it's not even select, you fucking clown. And then I ask the magic question that always just sums this up perfectly. It's like, well, what do you get there that you like so much? Oh, I do a lot of crock pot. Well, there you fucking go. And it's in a crock pot for 2 fucking years. And you talk about how soft the meat is. Yeah, you just, you know, it's got to figure this shit out, man. That's why when I know people that just haven't been lucky in life, don't have any money, you know, got a couple bad licks, I take them to a nice fucking top-notch fucking steakhouse. It's worth it to me. A good one like Burns in Tampa. None of this Ruth Chris horse shit. And they get there and they see the price and it's like, this is fucking crazy. Can I have a hamburger? It's like, you're not getting a fucking hamburger. You're getting a fucking good steak. Oh, they got this motherfucker cut off? You better let me back on this express, my bastards. And then I get them a really good steak. Like $200. And they say, I cannot believe how good this shit is. Hey, this place is open, I think. Oh, yeah. And that, it's just, really, I really enjoy doing shit like that. They said, this is so good. It's like, good, I'm glad that's why I brought you here. Now, if it's a female and they're younger, I say, would you mind giving me some head? No, I'm kidding. Actually, it's mostly older women. Hey, this is the giant man-eating clam. That's where I'm going to switch my shit. Start it over. Giant man-eating clam. Yeah, I wish it was a giant woman-eating clam. I'd put my fucking estranged wife in that son of a bitch. Put me on forensic files. They'd be playing excerpts off my lives. Like, I'd be so fucked. It's like they think Tom took his estranged wife and put her in a giant man-eating clam. It's like, what would make you say that, my Jew lawyer would say. It's like, well, he fucking talked about it on his way up to the Mackinac Bridge. You motherfuckers. They got a lot of cool books and shit in here. I mean, this looks like a cheesy vacation ripoff. Well, it's not. They got a lot of cool shit. They got a fucked up entrance. You never really know where to go in this motherfucker. I'm gonna get a fucking Edmund Fitzgerald plaque. Edmund Fitzgerald. Yeah, it's got a handle on it. See, my college degree is paying off. I have ascertained in less than 30 seconds that that's the entrance because there's a handle on the fucking door. There's no arrow. I'm gonna start this motherfucker over again too. Oh, I'm gonna go in and get... See, it's nice when you're in no hurry. Look at fucking barnacle lamp. Blue, are you still on here? I'll find out. I'll get you a Michigan trinket. So I'm gonna... Got my cameras already. Come on, man. Why is this fucking thing doing this? Got my GoPros. I'm gonna start this thing over, you guys, because I can't see any comments. It's a long time ago. So check. I'll be back on 30 seconds.